another course, another special project. Does school ever end? Roxie has passed every program life has offered so far. But recently she has decided to take a different course in a new school.
Oh.
Here to tell you about the syllabus is Roxie Stedman with My New School Honor Roll.
School. School just means a discipline, some type of order, a standard, a process, a system that you are expected to learn during a certain period. So all of life really is varying degrees of school. Well, in high school, I'll admit, I was a rebel. I didn't want to fit in. I didn't want to be like everybody else. That didn't seem right. Somehow it seemed like I'd be sacrificing my uniqueness, the me that everyone really wanted to know. But that didn't really help me in high school, actually. In fact, it got me in trouble in high school.
Uh-oh.
Later, in adult life, you swing back to the way you felt in grade school, that wanting to fit in, that needing to belong, wanting to have peers, a team. But a funny thing happens in America. We somehow transfer that wanting to belong, that team concept, to our stuff. Patty talked with us about clutter not too long ago. Well, many of us look at our stuff as our identity, that it defines us. My wardrobe, my car, my house. Well, I've had some experience with this, and I've acquired different things, and I've come to some conclusions. Particularly after I watched those new TV shows about hoarders, where people are literally suffocating in their stuff.
Yeah.
They can't even get through their house, and they're in total denial. No, it's not crowded in here. Everything's fine. No, everything's fine in the kitchen. You know, oh, those ants? No, they don't bother me. Just people don't admit that they've got more stuff than they can handle. So, one of the great clearing events in life is natural catastrophe or moving. All of a sudden, you have to address your stuff. As a teenager, when I moved out to my first apartment, I took everything I owned with me. I was so glad to be out of that house. And one day I came home and headed for my room, and it was vacant. The room in my apartment was vacant. And I turned to my roommates and I said, "Where's my stuff?" And they said, "Well, we were robbed." And I said, "Your stuff is still here."
Oh, no.
And they said, "Oh, well, apparently you didn't lock your window, and they took it out your window." Not much I could do. I had to start over getting new stuff. Then, in my 20s, I had a near-death experience. Well, that causes you to reevaluate things. I gave away everything. I gave away my business. I decided, wow, none of this is important. What's really important is just that I'm okay and that I'm doing the right thing and I'm living a good life. This stuff is just making my life harder. I gave away everything. But over the years, I kept thinking, oh, well, maybe I do need this. And I acquired more stuff. Oddly enough, at some point, there was a divorce. Now, a divorce is an interesting thing. You do not get rid of stuff in a divorce. You acquire stuff in a divorce. It's, well, this is mine, and that's mine, and that one's mine, and oh, that's mine, I need to take that with me. But after I paid for the movers to come and load all of my stuff and move it to my new dwelling, which was bigger than I needed because my space was, half of it went to my stuff. And then I also had to rent a storage unit for the rest of my stuff that didn't fit in my space. Well, then I thought, I need to buy my own house. Then I'll have a place for all this wonderful stuff that I have. So I did that. And the next thing I knew, not only did I have all my stuff, but the house had its own stuff. I had a pool guy, and I had a yard guy, and I had a pest man, and before I knew it, there was stuff and dependents, and I might as well have had 3 kids and a husband. It was more than I wanted. So eventually, I sold the house, gave away a lot of the stuff, and moved into an apartment. Because you start to realize that things don't really define me. It's my experience and my attitude that defines me. This stuff is only a symbol. But in America, we're in the habit of consumerism. And the advertising agencies and the psychological marketing plans are out there at every moment. If we're not paying attention, we'll be standing in line at that cash register to get more stuff. So I'm going back to school, but this time it's the school of me. What do I really need? What do I want? What is it that is important and valuable? I think if we all look at ourselves closely, we will find that it's really inside. It's our heart, our spirit, not the stuff that we carry around with us. Mr. Toastmaster.